Papa, please.
Amara said with tears in her eyes, looking tired and hungry.
Who is your father? From where to where? Don't ever call me that again.
The man said angrily. Amara gripped her walking stick tighter as the words echoed again in her head, even before they were spoken. The sun was cruel that morning in Port Harcourt. It burned the tarred road beneath her torn slippers, mocking every slow, painful step she took. Her left leg dragged slightly behind her, trembling each time she leaned on the wooden stick that had become her companion since the accident. Her small traveling bag hung loosely on her head, almost empty, just like her heart. She didn't leave home empty-handed. Her mother had at least thrown something at her that day. Information about her father and little money. Not love, not encouragement, not sweet hugs, no comeback if things don't work out. Just bitter instructions spoken with a tired voice and eyes that no longer saw her as a daughter. Go and look for your father. I'm tired, Amara. I've done my best. The words rang repeatedly in her head. Amara walked for hours. Sometimes she limped. Sometimes she stopped to cry quietly by the roadside, wiping her tears before strangers could see. When night came, she slept under a bridge, hugging her bag like a lifeline, listening to the sound of vehicles above her head, wondering if one of them would someday end her pain. For 7 days, the street became her home. Cold nights, hungry mornings, mocking eyes. By the time she finally stood before the gate that bore her father's address, her body was weak but her heart was alive with hope. At least I found him, she told herself. At least I won't be alone anymore. She knocked, the gate opened slowly. A man stood there, neat, healthy, and alive. Everything her mother never had. Their eyes met. Amara swallowed hard. Good afternoon, sir. The man frowned slightly. Yes, he responded. Her heart raced. My name is Amara. He stiffened and her voice shook. My mother's name is, before she could finish. His face changed. Yes, I was not wrong, you look so much like her. You don't have to introduce yourself, I know you just by looking at your face. So it's you, he said quietly. Her heart leapt. Papa.
Who is your father? From where to where? Don't ever call me that again.
The man said angrily. At this point her hope cracked. Sir, my mother said you are my father. There was silence. Then the man exhaled slowly and looked around as if someone was watching. Please don't put me in trouble, he said calmly, too calmly. Yes, I know your mother. And yes, I know you are my daughter. Amara's eyes filled with tears of relief. Thank God. What are you thanking God for? I have a beautiful and happy family, and I will not give you the chance to come and destroy it. He spoke angrily but calmly. Her smile froze. I don't want you to cause problems in my marriage. Just go, he said. She staggered. Papa, please. I don't have anywhere to go, her knees trembled. I told your mother to abort you when she told me about the pregnancy, he said coldly. She refused. I don't know why you are looking for me now. The world tilted. Papa, please. Amara tried to kneel on one knee. People passed. No one stopped. I'm satisfied with the 2 daughters I have, he added. I don't need you. He pushed her, not hard but enough. Amara fell back, her walking stick clattering on the ground. She stared up at him, dumbfounded. Please. I don't have anywhere to go. Tears streamed down her face. The gate slammed shut. Her world went black. Amara's world turned dark. Not the kind of darkness that comes when night falls, but the kind that seeps into the soul and refuses to leave. The gate that had just slammed shut behind her echoed loudly in her head, again and again, like a judge's gavel striking its final verdict, rejected. She stood there, frozen, staring at the closed gate as though it might open again if she stared long enough. Her fingers trembled on the handle of her walking stick. Her knees shook violently, but she refused to sit. Sitting meant accepting defeat, and Amara wasn't ready to accept anything, not yet. She whispered to herself, her voice barely audible. If everyone has rejected me, then where else can I go? Her chest tightened painfully. No father. No mother. The words tasted bitter in her mouth. She laughed. Not a happy laugh. Not even a normal laugh. It was the kind of laughter that came from deep inside a broken chest. The laughter of someone whose heart had been crushed beyond repair. It sounded strange, hollow, almost frightening, and when passers-by glanced at her, they quickly looked away. Madness, they thought. Another mad girl on the street. Amara laughed harder, tears streaming down her cheeks as her shoulders shook. So this is how it ends, she thought. This is all my life amounts to. Her mind replayed everything. Her mother's tired eyes. The insults from classmates. The whispers on the street. The accident. The walking stick. The bridge she slept under. Her father's cold voice. I told that woman to abort you. Her heart screamed. The only thing that should take me now is death, she thought bitterly. And I am ready to go. She tilted her head toward the sky, her lips quivering. God, just take my life, she said silently. I'm tired. The sun was still high, but to Amara, the world had already ended. She took a step back, then another. Her grip on the walking stick loosened. For the first time in a long while, she didn't care if she fell. Pain had already done its worst. Suddenly she screamed. God! Her voice tore through the air, raw and desperate. Take my life now. She staggered forward into the busy road. Cars sped past, horns blaring angrily. Drivers cursed, some slowed down, others didn't. The city of Port Harcourt was alive, busy, loud, yet none of it saw her pain. Her heart pounded violently. This is it, she thought. Her foot slipped. Her walking stick fell from her hand, rolling helplessly across the tarred road. Car screeched. The sound was sharp, violent, terrifying. The vehicle stopped inches away from her, so close she could feel the heat from the engine. Amara's eyes widened in shock. Her breath caught in her throat. For a split second she thought she had died. Then everything went silent. The noise of the road faded. The faces around her blurred. Her legs gave way. Out of shock, Amara collapsed. Her body hit the ground hard, but she felt nothing. Her mind shut down completely, retreating into darkness as if it could no longer bear the weight of the world. The driver jumped out of the car, his heart racing. Oh my God! Oh my God! He exclaimed, rushing toward her. People gathered. Is she dead? She ran into the road. Call the police. The man knelt beside her and gently shook her. Madam! Madam! No response. Fear gripped him. She's breathing, thank God she's breathing. Without hesitation, he lifted her fragile body into his arms. She felt light, too light, like someone who had already begun to disappear from the world. He placed her carefully in his car and sped off, ignoring the stares, the murmurs, the traffic rules. The hospital lights swallowed them whole as he rushed her inside, shouting for help. Nurses ran, stretcher appeared, her body was wheeled away, limp and silent, her clothes dusty, her face stained with tears she never got the chance to wipe. As the doors swung shut behind her, Amara lay between life and death, her heart still beating, but her spirit hanging by a fragile thread, unsure if it wanted to stay. And somewhere deep inside her unconscious mind, one thought repeated itself endlessly. If I survive this, where do I go next? Amara regained consciousness and opened her eyes for the first time, then realized it was the hospital, grateful to God that she didn't die. You are fine, just rest, the doctor said smiling and walked out. Mr. Bello leaned forward as he was standing by the bedside. Hello, I am Mr. Bello, how are you? The man said with smiles, but Amara said nothing. The doctor said that you can go home, don't be scared, everything is fine, all you need is rest. Can you give me your house address so that I can take you home? Mr. Bello said with smiles again. I don't have a home. Amara stared blankly and then said weakly, shocked but calm. You mean you don't have a home? Mr. Bello asked. After a few minutes he said, Can I take you to my home? My family would be glad to receive you. Amara nodded weakly and smiled for the first time. Mr. Bello then stepped out to make a call. When he returned, he helped her sit up and he assisted her with her walking stick as he was taking her home. Mr. Bello took Amara home to his wife and kids, and they were very happy to receive her. They welcomed her with warm hugs and smiles. That day, Amara was later given food to eat. While eating, Mrs. Bello asked, looking at Amara, "Where are your parents? How old are you?" Amara said nothing, just staring into thin air. "Honey, just let her be. She haven't said anything to me either apart from agreeing to follow me home," Mr. Bello chipped in. Amara was frequently caught smiling or crying to herself whenever Mr. and Mrs. Bello play with their kids, or when they buy her a gift. One day, Amara forgot to lock her room door and was crying in the room, when Mrs. Bello walked past trying to steal a glance but caught her crying, so she gently walked in and stood by a corner with her arms folded. "I have seen you so many times crying and you have refused to say a word since you came into our home. What is the problem? We don't even know your name. Kindly say something, let us into your pain so that we can help." Amara cried and went to hug Mrs. Bello while still crying, and for the first time she spoke to the shock of Mrs. Bello. "My name is Amara and I am 16 years old. I don't have anyone because my parents rejected me." "How can a parents reject their child? What happened?" Amara talked to me. Mrs. Bello was so eager to hear more. "My mom was the only parent I know all my life. She did her best, sent me to school, took care of me, but she later changed because of how fat I am. My classmates were not left out, same as the people in my street. I always got humiliated for being fat. I just graduated from secondary school and she chased me out to go and look for my father. That she's tired of me," Amara cried bitterly. "She gave me my father's information and transport money. I finally traced my father after 1 week on the street, and for that 1 week, I slept under bridge here in Port Harcourt. When I finally found my father, he wouldn't even want to take me, and saying I shouldn't come to destroy his family, that he has a happy and beautiful family. So he chased me out with no money or food. I already exhausted the little money my mother gave me. I was so angry with God that I decided to end it all on the same day I ran into the road. But luckily I survived and your husband saved me," Amara ended. All the while she was talking, she was already crying. Even Mrs. Bello couldn't hold back her tears. She wrapped Amara in her arms for long and encouraged her. "You now have a family in us, a family that would love you no matter your size. Being fat doesn't define who you are," Mrs. Bello said. "Ma, please don't send me away. I am ready to do anything for you. I can wash, cook, clean. I am very intelligent. I will teach your kids," Amara pleaded. "Don't worry, I will talk to my husband and we would see how to help you," Mrs. Bello said with finality and smiled, and Amara smiled back. Amara became part of the family, and slowly, she stopped using the walking stick until she finally did. Amara was later registered in the gym, where she would go every day to exercise and keep fit while also preparing to take JAM. Amara later wrote her JAM exam and passed, but she never stopped going to the gym. She was determined to look better for herself and her health. She got admission into the university to study law. It has always been her dream to be a lawyer. Mr. and Mrs. Bello became the parents she no longer have. They made sure she enjoyed her life and entered one of the best universities, as Amara became an elder sister to their little children. Amara later graduated from school and appreciated her foster parents for their love. Years later, Amara decided to visit her mother after so many years, and she discussed it with the Bellos, which they agreed and decided to follow her. When they got to her mother's house, the sick mother couldn't even recognize her again because she was no longer fat as before. She cried and hugged Amara. It was a very emotional moment as everyone's eyes were wet with tears. "At least my wish came true. I finally get to see you before I die, Mama," Amara said. "Mama, you are not dying. My daddy and mummy will help you," Amara said in tears, but her mother smiled weakly. "Amara, thank God you are in safe hands. I am sorry for chasing you away. I was just tired and frustrated. I was drained and confused. Forgive me, my child, forgive you, mother." "Mama," Amara said in tears, and then faced the Bellos. "Please, Amara is yours now. Protect her as your own and thank you for your love towards her," she said finally, as the Bellos were trying to say something. Mama Amara smiled one last time and gave up the ghost. Amara screamed and cried so much, shaking her mother, but it was all over. After the burial of her mother some months later, one night, as Amara stood by her mother's grave, her phone rang. A familiar voice spoke. "Amara, it's your father." Her blood ran cold. She quickly cut the call, as she's never looking back to her past again. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please do not forget to subscribe, comment, like and share for more stories like this.